Hi, I'm Barry Smith. I go by Legal Bear on the internet. Back in around 1990, I was told by the creator, get a computer, learn how to use it, and start studying law full time. I estimate that I studied law for 40 hours a week for 10 years. And during that time, I took a professional video producer into several law libraries and made a video on how to use the law library that a paralegal later said they should have used that in my paralegal school. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on it over the years. Is somewhere around 1997, I saw that the continuing legal education was sponsoring a class on how to do legal research on the internet, and I attended. In about 1998, I started doing all my legal research on the internet. I made a legal research on the internet video as well. I'm making this video to inform you of your right to be free from involuntary servitude that applies to the government in all its forms, whether it's IRS, the police, the judges, or all other civil servants. I first learned about this when I went up on appeal in the Colorado Court of Appeals, and I filed a motion based upon a rule, and they came back to me and said, we want a brief and not a motion. So since I consider myself, and then the next thing that happened was that they, when I didn't get the brief in, because I'm thinking you should rule on the motion first, they issued a show cause order and they said, you either show cause why your appeal shouldn't be dismissed for failure to file a brief. So I don't want to file a brief. I want you to rule on my motion. And my motion was a jurisdictional motion. And not only that, but it stated facts that were not otherwise supportable by the record in the court below. So I tried to put that in by way of an affidavit affixed to the motion. So I decided, since I could consider myself to be a judge in Yasharel, which is a little bit different from Israel in that it means those who walk upright before Yahuwah, or El, mighty creator, I decided I would write them my own show cause order and order them to show cause why I shouldn't have them prosecuted for violation of federal law. I pointed out that they had conspired against my rights contrary to 18 U.S.C. section 241. I pointed out they had violated Colorado's Organized Crime Control Act, which is our state civil RICO, by coercion of involuntary servitude. They're trying to make me write a brief instead of just accepting my motion. I pointed out that part of that includes if the person does not perform the labor or services, they will suffer serious harm, and in that case, having my appeal dismissed would definitely have caused me some serious harm. And that part of that included threatening abuse of law or the legal process. So that's what they had basically done, was threaten me to dismiss my appeal. I also pointed out in that what they were doing amounted to a first-degree perjury of their oath of office, and that the U.S. Supreme Court had said that legal coercion is a necessary incident of a condition of involuntary servitude. That's the U.S. Supreme Court talking. So that's what they were doing. They were doing legal coercion. So that U.S. Supreme Court had found a condition of involuntary servitude that the victim had no available choice but to work, and in my case, that was write a brief, or be subject to a legal sanction. And in my case, that was the dismissal of my appeal. I also pointed out the U.S. Supreme Court said compulsion of service by the constant fear of imprisonment under the criminal laws violated rights intended to be secured by the 13th Amendment. So, if they say, look, we're dismissing your appeals, send you back to the trial court where you will be imprisoned, so you must write a brief. It took me 7 pages to get that done. I went on for 17 more pages about how their order violated due process and how if they dismissed my appeal, it would be complicit in the crimes committed by the trial court. The show cause order is 24 pages total and packed full of authority. I think it took me 2 weeks of intensive work to put that together. Now, who does the 13th Amendment apply to? Any official threatening you with a legal sanction if you don't do as they say. To order this show cause order, and 2 others like it, dealing with asserting your 4th and 5th Amendment rights and your right not to identify yourself, look for the links in the description of this video.